never been a better time to have SiriusXM with even more exclusive content with over 150 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team, get news, listen to whatever makes you laugh, and hear all about your favorite stars. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy a favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
SOBEL Imports from the Montreal area has been a mainstay supplier for so many dealers over the years. And today on Showcase, they're coming on to really show off 3 unique brands so you guys know what the goods are available right now from SOBEL. We're talking about Pioneer Electronics, we're talking about Python Security, and HIKVision, a brand that we're happy to introduce for the first time here on CMA Networks. This is CMA Showcase presented by SiriusXM, SOBEL Imports, and it starts now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday, and thanks for tuning in to this edition of CMA Showcase presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. So as mentioned, today on the menu, we are talking about the distributor known as SOBEL Imports. These guys have been in business a long time, huge distributor in the remote start and security segment, as well as Metra, and a lot of other top brands, 3 of which we'll be spotlighting today on this edition of Showcase. So in order to get and kick off a proper show all about SOBEL, let's bring on 2 of their sales managers. The first being Chris Vassiliou, who is their Ontario sales manager. Let's bring him on first. Mr. Chris, how are you, sir?
Hey, Ben, how are you?
I'm good, man. We're here talking about SOBEL. I know you represent a lot of the sales in Ontario and that region, and we're pretty excited to have you on. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Next, we have your colleague and in many respects, the sales director for SOBEL. He's coming in from head office out in Terrebonne. His name is Gaetan Rheault.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
Hey, Gaetan.
Good to see you.
Very, very good. Happy to be here.
I know you're on vacation, but we are super happy that you made time for us today. Thank you, Gaetan. Chris, let me start with you. SOBEL is an operation that, like I said, has been in business for quite some time. Recently moved to a new location to kind of really up the game even some more. But for those who may be discovering SOBEL for the first time, especially in your region and beyond, can you give us a little bit about the overview of what SOBEL is all about and the footprint of the operation?
Well, we've been around for about 30 years, and we've been distributing, car audio brands and accessories from our office in Montreal. And with our strong team at SOBEL, we sell right across Canada, and we work hard to make sure, we provide the best service and the best product line for our dealers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's a pretty diverse offering. Obviously, I mentioned a couple of things, in security, remote start, car audio, and a couple new categories that we're covering today. Mr. Gaetan, can you talk to us a little bit about the 3 brands that we're going to be focusing on today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. We're going to have in there. It's going to be like an exclusive lineup for us for this. So it's going to be very nice to work with Pioneer because we're going to be exclusive with that line. We have like a new introducing a new lineup completely of DVR register with HIKVision, and after that, we're moving to directed electronics, and we're going to have Python lineup from the security. And top of that, remote start complete. So it's going to be
that's coming sooner rather than later, believe it or not. I hate to say it, but
yeah,
it's coming around the corner for sure. And last but not least, and maybe Chris, you can speak to this. This is new for us too. We're learning about this brand that you brought to the table, HIKVision. What's this all about?
Well, it's HIKVision is a massive company. They specialize in industrial cameras, and now they're bringing their technology into the car sector. And they have some new technology out there, and Tracy's going to share a lot of new product lines from them.
Amazing. Well, we got a star-studded lineup, lots to cover. We're going to get right to it. So strap in, guys. We have three brands to go in. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and we'll say bye to Gaetan for now. I'm sorry. We're going to say bye to Chris for now because we're going to keep Gaetan on for Pioneer. But we are going to bring on our product specialist from Pioneer. He's no stranger to the CMA networks. His name is Robert Money, Senior Sales and Territory Manager for Pioneer. Let's get Robert in the studio. Hey, Rob.
Hi. How are you guys?
Good to have you. Good to have you. So, I got to be honest, Gaetan kind of got my curiosity peak. He mentioned the word exclusive opportunities, exclusive product. Can you just give us an overview of what we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, actually, we made an agreement with SOBEL Imports recently to bring exclusive G Series speakers to Ontario, Quebec, and Maritimes dealers. So that lineup of speakers, which are mainly focused for factory replacement speakers, will be exclusive to SOBEL Imports for any dealers in Ontario, Quebec, and Maritimes. And in a second step, we will talk about a nice amplified subwoofers, which actually draw a lot of attention within the market right now.
Very nice. So very focused presentation, two products, one being very exclusive to SOBEL, and it's kind of like an OEM replacement, factory replacement kind of situation. And the other is a amplified or an active subwoofer enclosure. Okay, as in great Pioneer fashion, we've got a video to kind of whet our appetite. And this one is going to be all about the new Pioneer G Series.
Pioneer's TSG series speakers are perfect for simple and easy factory replacements. They have great installation flexibility and also provide a powerful boost in performance when compared to stock speakers. Pioneer's TSG series speakers are available in all popular sizes, including 4x6 and 4-inch, 5 1/4, 6 1/2, 6x8, and 6x9s. Pioneer TSG series speakers feature many of the advanced technologies and materials that have trickled down from Pioneer's more advanced and mid-priced TSA series speakers. Like all speakers in the Pioneer lineup, TSG series speakers provide exceptional performance combined with outstanding value. Pioneer's TSG series speakers are the perfect match for your factory in-dash receiver or for the internal amplifier of an upgraded Pioneer in-dash receiver.
I don't know about you, Robert, but whoever you got hired to do that voice sounds a lot like another guy.
Pioneer video without Harry is not a Pioneer video, so you recognize the voice. You'll see his face in the next video.
I'm sure I will. So, I mean, the A series product is kind of similar to this as well, as you mentioned. Can we maybe go through a couple of the key features of these speakers that make them stand out?
Actually, if you look at the G series and A series comparison, we're targeting two different type of customers, two different type of needs. So the A series speakers and G series speakers are sharing a lot of key technologies, but we trickle down some of these in a way to make a bit more affordable speakers, but at the same time targeting a specific needs in the market, which is more and more something that the dealers should look at right now by doing a factory speaker replacement in a way to improve audio quality when situation arise if the customers want to stick with the current OEM receivers, or if you do a head unit replacement with the Pioneer unit as an example, a great example, but where he's not expecting to have any external amplifiers in a way to have more power in those type of situation. So we're thinking about driving those speakers directly from the built-in amplifier of the receivers. So, and that is the main reason why you don't see high power handling on those speakers. We're not designing a speaker with the G series that is targeting that type of customers.
No, they're being optimized for deck power.
Yeah. And actually, that is maybe a wrong lead for consumer to look for a power handling which is higher and saying, oh, that speaker will be better for me because he's showing higher power handling. So which is not the case. Most of the time, to handle more power, the speaker will need to be more rigid, have a bigger voice coil, have better heat dissipation, so which translate to a less efficient drivers, which is not the case we want because we don't have the power to drive those speakers. So that is really a key factor here. The other great thing that we're sharing with the A series, if Gaetan can show the 6.5, I think you have one close to you, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you look at the cone itself on the G series, it's the typical things that we are pretty well known at Pioneer. Turn it around so we can see the logo on the right side. Maybe my fancy thing, because it was upside down. Thank you. So the classic gray cone that you see here is a IMPP cone, so injected molded polypropylene material that we blended with mica, and we have also kind of curved shape, so it's not a straight cone in the design. So we shared that same technologies and design with the A series, which is the step up speakers, in a way to make a smooth and on axis to off axis type of listening. So no matter if you're facing in front of your speakers, or which is most of the case in the car where those speakers are in the door panel, so off axis, we will give you a smooth output, no matter if it's coming from the mid-bass transition, the vocal, or the higher frequencies. So it will blend more naturally within the in-cabin type of listening. So
a couple comments I have for you here, Robert. Number one, I noticed if Gaetan just lifts up that speaker real fast, again, if you could pick it up, I noticed that the depth of the speaker is not extremely deep, which is great to be able to fit into a lot of situations, especially from an OE replacement perspective. And, if you're going to say OEM replacement, Pioneer obviously has a rich history in providing OE industry with speakers, and that means durability. So that's something that's very important to come with these, I know for sure. And I think with the IMPP cone material gives it that, aftermarket higher end look, because there are some factory replacement options out there that really look very factory replacement as far as the materials used. This, I feel there's an added benefit from the look and feel of the speaker itself. You know what I mean?
Circling back with the things you mentioned. So, Gaetan, I'll ask you to do the Vanna White thing again. Can you show us the speaker again?
No problem at all.
So if you look at the basket, that speakers that currently in the Gaetan's end is a 6.5 drivers. But if you look at the way that we design, it's what we call a shallow depth drivers. So in the industries, we have the shallow depth and the deep speakers that we call. So that will help you to perform better installation, easier installation without necessarily adding spacer, as you mentioned. But that one of the great thing about that 6.5 is it can fit in a 5-inch opening.
Oh, interesting.
Which is pretty rare for 6.
Well, then why would I, as a dealer, want to stock 5 1/4s?
In some situation, that 5 1/4, because the outside diameters, you will need to do it. But in many scenarios, like Subaru's car door, the previous generation, so early 2000 as an example, they have specific depth issues with the window channel in the door panel. So those speakers will fit perfectly, as an example. So no need to have some kind of spacer or deal with some extension on the rod to push back a bit the window in the door panel to fit the things.
I'm going to assume, and correct me if
Yep.
I'm wrong, but I'm going to assume, I'm going to take a chance, that these speakers also include the signature Pioneer speaker trim adapter, whatever we call it.
In that case, unfortunately, no.
They do not.
Yeah,
Now, why is that?
The magical speaker adapter plate that we have are within the TSA series. They are in the box for 6.5 and 6x9. In that case, because it's a OEM integration, we prefer to stick to the basic route of giving to the customers strictly the speakers. Same thing for the speaker grill. The speaker grill are included with the 6.5 and the 6x9. And if you look at the other size of the speakers, so if it's a 6x8, a 4x6, 5.25, 4 inches, they are without grills, because most OEM integration will not need any grill in those cases.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why we trim down the price where it will not have any negative impact on the speaker acoustic performance.
Mm-hmm. And installability is all there. The cosmetics are there. And
Yep.
I'm sure the durability is there. And it sounds like the price is there as well.
Yeah. It's not a paper-based type of product. So the MPP will give you a lifetime on the product.
What was the surround material, Robert?
It's a cloth imprint. My Frenchman.
Oh, come on. Anyone knows the answer that you do.
So the Frenchman, it's a cloth material with some kind of adhesive in it, and butyl-based type of clothing material.
So definitely
that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a
I
great
have the
question.
French word, still thinking about the English one.
I learned a word from you
Ben.
last week too. It's called evolutive, and I'm trying to use it more. Okay, so this is kind of rounding out this new G series of speaker. I want to remind our dealers who are tuning in, this is an exclusive line from Sobel. So this is like, if OEM integration is your jam and you want a solution for a speaker set that can easily fit into most of the vehicles coming in, shallow depth, great performance, meant to work and be optimized with deck power or even original deck power, these are the ones for you. Now, like Robert said, if this is part of a bigger system build, do not tell the customer that you're going to put 500 watts and put 150 watts on each of these speakers. This is not that speaker. That's probably
for the TSA. So you need to match the power of the source with the power handling of the speakers.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And Gaetan, are these speakers available now, soon? What is the situation?
Already in inventory.
In stock in the barn. There we go.
In Sobel, so ready to ship.
Ready to ship. We love to hear that. Okay, let's shift to the second part of this presentation. Robert mentioned that we're going to be talking about an amplified or an active subwoofer enclosure. Well, I like starting with the video to kind of give us an idea of what we're talking about, and we'll come back and talk about it. Let's go ahead and roll the video.
Bring everyone.
This is Pioneer's TSWX 1210AM. This is a 12-inch ported enclosure subwoofer with a built-in Class D amplifier. The amplifier has 1,300 watts max power output with 350 watts nominal power output. It can operate with RCA or speaker-level inputs. This system features a unique trapezoid shape and a port to deliver big bass with easy installation and great placement flexibility. The box measures 19 3/4 by 12.5 by 15 and weighs in at about 26 pounds or 12 kilograms. The innovative trapezoid shape of the enclosure is designed for high rigidity and to reduce internal standing waves, while also increasing installation flexibility. The back of the subwoofer box is designed to fit against the back seat, in the trunk, or the cargo area in the back of your vehicle. This sub can be freely installed in the vehicle cabin, under seats, and repositioned with the subwoofer firing toward the rear of the vehicle, or the front of the vehicle, or pointing upwards. Whatever works best for you in your vehicle with your favorite music. The enclosure is fully carpeted, creating a non-stick and very durable scratch-resistant surface. The TSWX1210AM features a ported enclosure optimized for best performance right from the factory. It's designed to deliver deep and punchy bass. And that is Pioneer's TSWX1210AM. This is a 12-inch subwoofer in a ported enclosure with its own Class D amplifier built right in.
I don't know. That guy looks a lot like Harry, though.
Yeah. So, see, right at the end, cherry on top, just for you.
But you know what I did notice? I mean, I appreciated having him hold it because it gives me a frame of reference as to the size of
That's
how big
why
that
we made it this way. Yeah.
12-inch sub. Yeah, we all know what 12-inch subs, are size-wise. But when you put it in that context,
this gives you a better idea also, not only about the sub diameters, but the total enclosure size, which is pretty small for a vented enclosure, because most of the time vented enclosure or bass reflex enclosure are at least 1.5
on the small
time
side.
the space
right, exactly.
versus a sealed one. So that is good for that. Just to circle back a bit, so about my French glitch. Can I say that? A French?
I guess.
Je peux le faire, je suis français.
Well,
So it's the woofers around for the G series are rubber coated cloth.
Rubber coated cloth. Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell us more about this 12-inch ported enclosure, powered ported enclosure.
Yeah, actually, this is a new addition to the family of the amplified subwoofers. We have Gaetan doing Vanna White here again, so which is good. So this is an addition to the current lineup of subwoofer enclosure. So it's not a replacement. So we already had a huge, not to say phenomenal, success with the TSW X1010A, which is because it's still active at 10 inches. The 1210A, but we receive also at the same time where we were having success with those two subwoofers. Request to have something maybe a bit more efficient, maybe a bit more appealing for the younger enthusiasts. So new guys who just bought the first car want to have something to have some extra bass without breaking up the bank, have something all in one. So don't want necessarily to spend a lot of money with a real subwoofers, with real amplifiers, design a real subwoofer enclosure to match the car and those things. So we target the target for that enclosure is really the young enthusiast embracing the first time car audio system in his car. And he want to have the most what he can have for any young bass lover, let's say it this way, with some kind of safety by the design. So and at the same time, we did really a great thing by maintaining the volume from the cargo space that we grabbed with that box to be about the same as the 12 inches seal enclosure version that we already had. So we create really something to target specific customers with that bass reflex amplified unit.
There's a couple of things I want to point out here. Number one, I'm happy that you have that angle pointing. High level input, very clutch, because this could just be a simple add-on to an original system, like you said, simple turnkey. Plug it in, it'll go. Power and ground, and away you go. So that's number one. Number two, the cosmetics of this particular enclosure certainly is more stylish, more sporty than the regular line of subwoofer that I've seen from Pioneer. So even including the grill, if you just want to turn it a little bit, Gaetan, and show the front, I'm going to assume that is embroidered logo and spec. Along with this really aggressive grill. So, it's got a sporty look to it. The other thing I really like is how you've incorporated the trapezoid design. I know Harry was talking about eliminating standing waves, but I really like the fact that tucks right behind that rear seat on the right angle so that you're using the space and not just wasting space to take up a subwoofer enclosure. So three things.
Actually, if you look at a back angle on the box, actually really fit the current back angle of the rear seat. We saw a shift in the trend where the angle changed in the last years of the car design. So we match really that back angle to fit perfectly with that. It will do well in full size pickup truck as well in some scenarios.
SUVs, you know what I mean?
SUVs. So it's not grabbing a lot of space. It's all in one. The harnesses are in the box. And if you look at actually the power harness is within the Molex plug you see on the side. So there's no need to run heavy gauge wire.
What would that need? Like gauge?
Actually, that gauge size for that fuse amp will be a 12 gauge will be fine. So it's not a big deal versus what we typically see in the market. And if you look at it, the system can evolve with the customers at the same time. So as you mentioned, speaker level input, so we can connect it directly to a OEM receivers or an aftermarket receivers without any RCA, which is kind of rare today.
It does that? I'm not sure,
but if the customer switch a bit later, want to add some CarPlay on his deck that he don't have initially or whatever, so the system can switch to RCA input in that
and then have some control from your deck.
Yeah, and improve at the same time audio quality of the system. So it's a win-win scenarios, and because it's easy to install at the same time, that maybe can help some dealers actually that we know that are struggling with staff shortages. So you can put a junior type of technician or technician actually within training session, and he will be able to deal with that installation without any
100%.
surprise for the dealers. So
very efficient, money maker, and honestly, that category of powered enclosure has been a hot category right across the board in the industry. So it's nice to see Pioneer.
On top of that, what is fun about it, customer wants, you can recuperate all the space from his trunk and just like removing a connector. That's a fun part of it all also.
That's a good point. So on the fly, if he needs cargo space for a specific trip, because you need to go at the stores and you need to have cargo space available for a couple of minutes, unplug it, removed it, install it back after, and it's done.
That's what I call my wife-friendly sub box.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. If we're going to review, so we started talking about the Pioneer G series, which is one step down from the A series, but shares a lot of similar characteristics and features. However, specifically designed for OEM replacement, shallow depth for installation, as well as premium materials such as the MPP cone, and optimized to play on either factory deck power or even aftermarket deck power. So that is the G series. And the most important takeaway, well, there's two. Number one, it's exclusive at Sobel. Number two, they're ready to ship. Right. So that's number one. And then the second thing we just covered right there is the Pioneer TSWX1210AM amplified subwoofer. We went through it. Trapezoidal design. It looks good. It sounds good. It's easy to plug in, easy to make money with, and great for the first-time bass enthusiast for maybe their first vehicle, and a moneymaker. So for sure, again, what's the inventory on that one? Ready to go?
Ready to go. Ready to ship. They are, or I've already some in inventory right now.
Amazing. Well, now's the time to put up the information. First of all, thank you, Robert, for coming in today and sharing with us this information. And we'll be sure to catch you on another session of CMA soon enough. If you want to check out more information on Pioneer Electronics, there's the website, pioneerelectronics.com, for more information. Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Gaetan. We'll be back with you shortly. All right. So let's move on to our very next guest and the next brand that we'll be covering. We're going to say bye to Gaetan, and we're going to bring back Chris Vassiliou, who will share with us a little bit about this new brand. This is a brand, like I said in the beginning of the show, is kind of making its debut here on CMA Networks. and I'm excited to learn all about them. So let's go ahead and bring back Chris, who's going to kind of partner you on this. He gave me a little bit of a preview about what HIKVision is. He says it's a big company. They started in like commercial industrial stuff. What is the application here with Sobel? Like, what are the products, or what category of products are you selling?
We're going to be bringing in their mobile video products, their dash cams, and DVRs.
Amazing. That's a very hot category. So let's get into it. Let's invite their marketing manager from HIKVision Canada. Her name is Tracy Rheault. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Pretty excited over here because this is kind of like a debut for your brand, HIKVision. So I guess I'm going to start my first question. Tell us a little bit about who HIKVision is. What do you guys specialize in? Where are you located? And the story, real briefly, about HIKVision.
Sure. So here at HIKVision, we're a world-leading IoT solution provider with over 20 years in the security industry. So we manufacture a broad range of video products, which include video security, access control, and alarm systems. And we also provide a lot of integrated security systems that are powered by AI technology. So this helps to support our end users with new applications and possibilities for safety management and business intelligence. So specifically here in Canada, we employ close to 100 people across the country. We have offices that are equipped with state-of-the-art customer experience showrooms, and those are located in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. In addition to that, we also have a full center in Montreal, and we also have a warehouse distribution facility in Vancouver.
Wow. Okay. So
we're covered across the country.
kidding. Okay, they're serious. All right. Well, then let's go one step further. Can you tell us, in the brief time that we have today with you, and I'm really hoping we get to dive deeper in another session, what are we going to be covering today in your presentation?
Yeah. So as we researched our mobile video solutions in Canada, we're going to talk to you today about some of our dash camera products. So we basically have taken our latest security technologies from our cameras and put them into our dash cam systems. So this basically allows us to support all kinds of channels, up to 16 channels. So by doing this, we want to ensure that our partners and distributors like Sobel are equipped with the latest technologies and products to help their customers, become more efficient.
Wow, we like the sound of that. So from what I understand, Tracy, your marketing team kind of put together a custom video for this presentation. We're going to cover a few of the products you just mentioned. And I'd love for you to stick around so I can ask you maybe a few questions once we get through the presentation, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and play HIKVision. Let's learn about HIKVision. Roll the tape.
Hello, my name is Justin Sutran from Learning and Development Canada, and today I'll be highlighting a few of our key mobile products from our mobile solutions applications. Today I have joining us is our lovely Carolina from Marketing, who will be assisting me in showcasing some of our products. The first model I'd like to demonstrate is our F6S, which supports a 4 megapixel true resolution. It also has a wide field of view, which supports 130-degree diagonal and 109 horizontal. Large aperture for crisp night imaging, built-in 2-inch touchscreen, built-in microphone and speaker, along with a Wi-Fi access point, which allows seamless connectivity to our mobile apps, such as the Hike Dashcam. Built-in GPS module, allowing playback through Google Maps. Also has a built-in G-sensor module which supports collision detection, footage protection, SD card support, which gives you a maximum of 128 gigabytes. The HIKVision dash cam is easily set up for our customers, supporting live view, recording footage search, backup SD card information for phone storage. Timeline feature allows seamless finger scrolling for video playback. Our voice control in ADAS, which stands for Advanced Driver Assistance Support, will give you features such as green light detection for vehicle to proceed through traffic lights, turning on and off recording, requesting a snapshot to be taken, follow front car alert to keep up with traffic, and along with speed limit notification speech. The next model we'd like to introduce is our professional lawn. The G2 Pro primarily used in applications for fleet management such as Uber, taxi, and even pickup trucks. Thank you, Carolina. This particular model supports a 4K front and as well as a 1080p rear camera, capturing more detailed information. It also has a built-in Sony CMOS chip, which provides good picture quality at night. Built-in microphone and speaker, along with an internal 64 gigabyte storage built in with an expandable MSD storage up to 256 gigabytes. GPS with AI function, along with an easy-to-mount snap-in design. Very easily slides off, and with the 3M adhesive, this can easily mount to your windshield, clip it right back onto the unit, and slides right in. Wi-Fi app connectivity supports the Bluetooth button feature, which provides snapshot and voice recording. Built-in G-sensor module, which supports video recording, linkage, in any event there's a car crash or strong vibration. Supporting finger swipe for timeline playback in the application as well. Our voice control is used for snapshot, turning on the recording, and as well as turning off the recording. The parking mode feature also has what's called a voltage cutoff protection, which allows the vehicle to remain off and have the unit record. In any event there's a voltage drop before 11.6 volts, this unit will automatically stop recording. Our rear camera is also operational for indoor and outdoor applications. Let's have a look at our G4 mobile unit, which is typically used in applications for schools, waste management, taxis, Uber, etc., other fleet services, including integration with our HIKVision Central Professional. Total of 5 channels, which include wide main and 4 additional cameras. Thank you, Carolina. Mobile analog camera capability is supported, along with subscreen on-live viewing for remote viewing at a lower resolution. 4 megapixel sensors for still images and 2 megapixel for video recording. LED circular recording indication provides the end user the ability to identify whether the unit's recording or not. Built-in mic and speaker together with 3G, 4G module, and GPS provides two-way audio communication. Communication or audio monitoring, also with built-in Wi-Fi hotspot support with Bluetooth and 4G module technology. Dual micro SD supports up to 256 gigabytes for each additional storage. ADAS is also supported, which will provide the customer forward collisional warning along with lane departure and other warnings as well. Monitoring and pedestrian collision warnings. DBA is also an excellent feature that we have included in this particular model, which is driver behavior analysis. It provides information for our customers driving vehicles for fatigue, making telephone calls, smoking alarms, distractions, sending these particular warnings to the driver and as well as our HIKVision Central Professional client. G-sensor technology is also added, providing automatic collision triggered recording, along with built-in supercapacitors providing emergency standby power. Two-way audio is also built in, along with a built-in gyroscope used for identifying movement. Our last but most important product in our HIKVision portfolio is the Hike Central Professional software. This is a centralized management software which integrates all of our product platforms under one umbrella. This integration with our mobile catalog supports live viewing and playback up to 1,000 vehicles, local storage, backup via Wi-Fi and/or LTE, supporting creating areas for vehicle analytics, adding license plate numbers, owners' names, vehicle types, types of the vehicle, colors, brands, and even linked devices. Driving monitoring events, fence deviation, speeding, collision, rollover, even the event playback, which allows you to search event alarms and functions. Driver behavior analysis is also involved, including smoking, using mobile phones, fatigue driving, distraction, seatbelt unbuckled. These events are also available for searching and event alarm functions. Supports ADAS events as well for collision warnings, lane deviation, pedestrian, speed limit, and blind spot warning. The overview of mobile monitoring statistics and report also include the 6 different types, such as GPS information, driving distance, driving duration, speeding times, driving events, and device online rates.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everyone, from all of us at HIKVision Canada.
Thanks again.
So there's no way we're going to be able to cover everything that was spoken of too in that one video. But I did want to give you the opportunity. First of all, great presentation. That G4 dash cam, Tracy, seems like it is absolutely feature packed. I wish I could pause the gentleman while he was talking, but I knew I'd have an opportunity to ask you. Can you maybe slow it down and share with us some of those key features that the G4 dash cam has that really sets it apart from the competition?
Yes, for sure. So our dash camera products offer more than just the traditional video recording. So the G4 specifically supports all of our HD analog indoor and outdoor cameras. So what this means is that you have more options for different form factors, such as a mini dome, a turret, or a bullet style camera. The stream sub on the live view enables remote viewing at a lower resolution. So this means that a control center can see live video at a low uploading speed. The other thing that was touched upon was Hike Central Professional. So that's our software that enables management up to 1,000 vehicles. So this is a great use case for, commercials with large fleets, school buses, trucking, these types of scenarios. And it was also touched upon that it supports DBA, which is driver behavior analysis events. So these are things like fatigue, smoking, distractions, seatbelt unbuckle, and these things all help to ensure that drivers stay safe. In addition, the G4 camera also supports an overview of mobile monitoring statistics and reporting. So that was also touched upon, that you can get a great number of reports that provide you all kinds of information on the driver's behavior. So, driving distance, speeding time, GPS, driving events, and these types of things.
So that G4, was that a model that's targeted very much for the commercial fleet side of things, or is it also double dual purpose, or is there other models for more end user kind of consumer type models as well?
Because the G4 is more designed for commercials with being 5 channels and such, but some of the other models that were shown, which was like the F6S, would be probably a better use case for an end user. I use one of those and I love it.
Well, I'll tell you, what's the beauty of all this is, HIKVision kind of got you covered, whether it's for consumer or for fleet applications. Correct. It seems like and a lot of that fleet technology is maybe trickling down, to the consumer one. Maybe you don't maybe need all those features, because a fleet manager certainly would take advantage of many of the features you just mentioned. But it's nice to see. Is there anything else you'd like to share while I have you on, Tracy?
Yeah, sure. So, we just wanted to share that, we understand a lot of the challenges that distributors and partners are facing, in this kind of, selling a lot of these competitive products in a very mature market. So we just wanted to, reiterate that HIKVision dash camera solutions, provide a lot of great features and benefits that can help support, the distributors and partners, customers with, whatever needs they have at competitive pricing. So, there's a lot of different multiple end user and commercial companies that are looking for these types of products and solutions, to improve, their working and driving experiences. So as leaders in the video security industry, we provide the best technology and the best hardware that we can. And with day and night video quality, we ensure that our mobile video solutions are protecting, businesses, drivers, and their assets at any time and anywhere. Being a manufacturer, we have, from all the way from production to the transportation, we're basically, have our own supply chain. So, with our staff and all of our facilities, between our warehouse, our showrooms, and our R&D center here, we're able to fully support all of our partners and customers right here in Canada. So great, again, having that touch point across, it really helps. And, lastly, we know this is a new thing for us. So we just wanted to take this opportunity to thank SOBEL, for their support and working with us and being a great distributor. And we really appreciate the opportunity to partner with them.
Awesome. Chris,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're as blown away as I am. I'm going to give you an opportunity to kind of comment on what we just learned and everything that Tracy just shared with us.
Well, as a SOBEL, we're excited to work with HIKVision, and we're excited to bring this product out to all of our dealers. And we are getting our order hopefully in the next week or so, and we're going to be ready to ship.
You're being pretty enthusiastic about HIKVision. So I want to give you that chance. Like, what is it that really draws you? If you have to choose one thing, you're talking to a dealer like, bro, I know you sell a bunch of dash cams, but
it's more of the fleet aspect. So that dash cam that we just talked about, this is something that people are looking for. And especially with the 5 channels, we can add a lot of features and offer the right product for these fleet companies.
Tracy, my takeaway from this, I'm very blown away with the feature set, and I'm agreeing with what Chris is saying. That fleet option, that the solutions that provides, as a next step, I would love to see what that software actually looks like and show how that actually works, because I'm trying to envision it, because there's a lot of channels, a lot of features, but maybe for a future session we can kind of go through that and see how all those features work in real time.
Absolutely, yeah, we would love to do that. Yeah.
If you're as interested as I am and as curious as I am, you want to check out their website. Where the brand is, of course, HIKVision. They can be found at HIKVision.ca, based in Canada, 3 offices. Love that. Got to give you guys kudos for that. Tracy, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
Take care now.
Thank you, Tracy.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right, that was a really good one, Chris. I'm going to ask you to step back in the back studio as we bring in our final guest for this session, and I'm going to bring in your colleague, Mr. Gaetan, back as well. Let's get Mr. Gaetan back in here, because our last section of today's presentation is all about, well, it's about a season that's coming up real soon, Gaetan. We're talking about remote starters.
Yes,
we're talking about security, and for today, we are talking about Python. So, the category for Canadian businesses is very, very big. How excited are you to start with Python this season?
It's going to be like a great season. We're expecting dealer can deliver car, and if dealer delivery car, will have business line up where it should be.
Beautiful.
In the sale, and technically product is there, and its quality. Don't get wrong on that.
No, and I think with Danny coming in today, we're going to talk about the features, but also the support that the dealers will have when installing these products as well. I think that's very important.
Yeah, you need support product, and when you are going in the DS4 category, it's a computer in that.
It is.
That's it. So you have to, installing some product in a car, you will talk with the car. So
absolutely,
it's like that.
Okay, well, let's find out more about it. He is the business development manager for Jemsen, who is handling the Vox account. His name is Danny Prezzo. Come on in, Danny.
Hey, everybody.
Danny, how are you, sir?
Hey,
I'm
Danny.
excellent. Thank you, Ben.
Good.
Hey, Gaetan, how are you?
Very good. Yourself, Danny?
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent.
Danny, we've
Glad
saved the
to
best
be
for
here.
last, as you know. You're the goat.
I asked
You're
you
the
last.
goat. Let's get a few questions on the way so we can get you set up to do your presentation. You know, there's obviously been some changes. There's a new infrastructure in place as far as the directed and the DS4 platform is concerned. Jemsen, Vox, that whole situation. I'd love for you, like, I want to give you the opportunity to reassure dealers, man, that this setup is great for them and the business and for the industry.
Absolutely. I mean, what Vox's intentions were is to partner with a distributor that did not currently sell any conflicting products. So if you look at any other distributor across the country, there is definitely conflicts because they sell other brands and so on. So Jemsen and the team were pretty much clean across the board, and even not only on the security remote start side, but also on the ADAS products and everything else Vox sells, including the multimedia stuff. So there's really no conflicting products within our warehouse and our operations. So it was a kind of a no-brainer for Vox to choose Jemsen as their partner. And that's kind of where I came in, and I was already obviously working for Jemsen, and with my 30 plus years experience in the remote start security division, they asked me if I would, manage the division and look after all of the distributors. And I've worked with Daniel off and on in the past, and he's a great guy. And Sobel is a fantastic distributor. I mean, they've been working with Jemsen for, quite a few years. But now that, things changed in July of 2020, when Vox acquired the directed company, the DEI company and all the brands, they're a powerhouse company, Vox Electronics. They have offices all across the US and they sell products across the world. So they're really a strong supporter of the directed brand, and they're going to really bring a lot of new things, to the table moving forward. I mean, number one issue in the past, or the recent past, was inventory. And that looks like it's a thing of the past, even though there's still some chip shortages here and there. We spent a lot of time doing forecasting and everything. So I think our supply issue is behind us, and moving forward, lots of support, even on the technical side. We're offering tech support, for in multiple languages, including French and Spanish, and maybe others. I'm not sure what the languages of all the tech support team do speak, but
Frenglish, maybe Frenglish.
Pardon me?
A little bit of Frenglish.
Fringlish too, yeah. There's a lot of Fringlish going on too.
All right, Dan. Thank you for that update. Give us a quick overview of what we're about to learn today.
Well, we're going to talk today about, I wanted to kind of talk about technology a lot, but it's really difficult because, technology, the people that are watching this aren't really, say, only installers. So I got a little bit of product, review, but we're going to talk about digital remote starts and security. We're going to talk about T-harnesses, RF kits, and then obviously analog is still strong. There's some veterans in the market today that really like the old school, using a bypass module with an analog starter. And again, price point wise, it's a little bit less expensive too. Although I think analog is slowly going to go away because I see it declining within the brands that directed too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it did have a kind of surge only because of inventory issues. So everybody had to kind of get schooled back in tune
Absolutely.
with, analog the last 2 years. But it looks like it's going well moving forward. So without further ado, me and Gaetan, we're going to go away and we're going to set you, Danny, up with your presentation.
All Perfect.
Right. Good.
Okay, today we will be talking about obviously the Python brand, but we're also going to definitely touch on some directed products too, and I'll explain that later in the presentation. So we'll start off with Python Digital, which is directed realistically because the DS3 and the DS4 platforms are across pretty much all of the brands. So the DS3 and the DS3 Plus are basically digital remote car starters. The DS3 is the push to start type product with low current, and then the DS3 Plus has the high current relay, so you can do all the vehicles. So remote start security interface in those two devices. What DS4 and DS4 Plus add is Bluetooth. And what's important about Bluetooth is not only for the expediter, but even the installer. You don't need any programming tools. You don't need anything. All you need is a smartphone. Take your smartphone, load the application, and you communicate directly with the DS4 or the DS4 Plus, and you program it right from your phone. I'll be honest, I've been in the industry, as I said earlier, a long time, and initially the DS4 hardware has always been rock solid. But when the product came out, you know, there was a glitch here and a glitch there. But I'll tell you, this stuff works amazing now. I work with some customers across the country. They don't sell anything else besides DS4 and DS4 Plus because of the convenience of not having to pull a laptop out or anything. You just use your smartphone or your tablet, whatever you have with you, and you can program the units directly. So it's really, really a fantastic platform. And it's a la carte. So basically you buy the brain and it's the brain only. And then you decide, you know, if you want to do triple lock start or if you want to add an RF kit. And another point is the firmwares that are in the DS4 and the DS3, we are leading the industry as far as solutions for electric vehicles and also hybrid vehicles. So obviously that is a strong growing market these days. Electric cars we're seeing more and more, and it's going to continue to grow. Some security upgrades for the DS4 and the DS3 platform. We have the level 1, which is the 8504D, and it's basically a digital shock, tilt, and temperature sensor that you can install in the car, and you basically connect it to the DS4 or the DS3, and you know you have basically security. You hook up horn honk mainly would be your alert system. Then the level 2 is the DS4 SU, which gives you the same shock sensor, but also adds the 6-tone siren. So those both SKUs work with both DS3 and DS4 platforms. The top of the line piece is the level 3, the DS4WS, which is only for DS3 and DS4 because it's a Bluetooth siren. So for you installers that are listening, you know, passing wires from inside the hood, under the hood, into the passenger compartment is a nightmare, especially on the newer vehicles. So what Directed has done is they designed this, but not only as a siren, but also with, as I said, with the Bluetooth, but they've also added some inputs. If you have to manually hook up a TAC, you have a TAC input on the siren that will transmit to the DS4 or DS4 Plus through Bluetooth, and then you also have a pin switch input. And I know installers are lazy, and you know, if you're doing a remote starter only, it's a pain to just run a pin switch under the hood. I still highly recommend it. It's a no-brainer. You have to protect any mechanic that's working on the car. So you really need to you know, install a pin switch. And this is a really easy solution, and you can upgrade the customer with full security and everything with it at the same time. So security upgrades is something that I think more and more people should really ask. And you know, it'll incredible how often it'll add sales to your or increase your invoice. T-harnesses. T-harnesses, this is just a no-brainer for many guys because the installation is quicker, it's more efficient. I think honestly the car dealers prefer it too because there's no wrong wires cutting. It cuts down on your installation time on most applications, and it's just the way of the future. Another key fact is it reduces problems and reduces calls into tech support. And also if it's a junior installer, a guy that's just kind of learning, I mean, he can kind of do one installation with a T-harness on one vehicle and then not need supervision for the second vehicle. We currently have 33 T-harnesses that are DS4P and DS3P. And then of those 33, there's 21 of them that are for the DS4 and the DS3, so the low currents. So basically with the high current and the low current, those will work on any vehicle. But if you happen to be, you know, want to save a few dollars and install just the DS4 or the DS3, then that's, you know, an option. We cover 27 vehicle manufacturers right now with our T-harnesses and 3,121. Maybe it's 3,025 by now because it's constantly growing. And our latest harness is the Hyundai 5, the THYN5 for 2011 and plus Hyundais. And I've heard through the grapevine, and maybe I'm not allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. we have 6 new T harnesses in the works that we're hoping going to be launched in the next probably 90 to 120 days. Now, when you have a DS4 and you want to have extended range, you need to have some RF kits. So I won't spend a lot of time on this because it's information that you can find on the web. But we have 1 button, 4 button, and 5 button in the one way, and up to a half-mile range, which is kind of the go-to piece. Is definitely the 9656P. It's a price point piece, and it's got all the features you need, and it's got the a little bit extended range as opposed to the quarter-mile range of the other 2 pieces. Then, very important for the veterans out there that maybe say the second or the third purchase of a remote starter, people understand what two-way means. And a lot of people want to know that their car is started. But not only that, these units offer 1 mile range. So if you're in an apartment or if you park your car far away from where you sit at your desk at work, it's really a huge advantage to have that extended range. And we offer it in 1 button, in the 4 button, and also LCD. And all 3 of them are obviously the long extended range. And the LCD unit is rechargeable too. So you never have to worry about batteries or anything. Just, charge it once in a while. It's not something like a cell phone that you got to really charge every day. This is possibly something that you charge once a month or once every couple of months, depending on how often you use it. So to summarize the DS4, DS3 digital, I mean, we have 4 main units, 3 security upgrades, 3 one-way RF kits, 3 two-way RF kits, and a total of 33 T harnesses. And at this point, I would like to kind of maybe, I've got a little bit of time, so I just want to, educate everybody. I mean, I've traveled across the world, discussing remote car starters to Asia, to Russia, to Europe, and I learned a lot, and I'd like to share some of the things I've learned. Number one is customers walk in. I think it would be really important to ask better questions. So don't just say, customer walks in, I want a remote starter. Well, we have this one, this one, this one, and these are the 3 bought prices. Ask questions. Ask the customers, do you park far? Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a condo? Is your car parked at the airport if you work at the airport? These are all questions that will qualify the customer and let you give you the capability to tell them what the solution they need is, not just based on price. Better salespeople ask better questions. So that's why I say that is ask your customer questions. Don't just show them products. Say, well, sir, if you work at the airport, is it important to you to start the car when you're in the airport and taking your shuttle bus so that you have 5 or 10 minutes to warm up your car? And then the same thing for people that, in condos, or is it important to you when you're at the shopping mall in the winter time and it's snowing and it's cold outside and you're shopping? Is it important for you to start your car before you go back to your vehicle to help, defrost it or whatever? So I highly recommend that you ask everybody that's selling remote starters today, asks better questions. Moving on, let's talk about Python analog. And we have quite a few SKUs here. And again, the top of the line, the 5705P is with 1 mile range. And again, with a rechargeable remote. And these are basically full remote starters with the high current relays built in and everything. And the only thing that it's missing is a DB3 bypass module. But again, if you're installing on a really old vehicle that doesn't require key bypass, you can install it straight up like that. And then we have obviously 2 two-way quarter mile models, a 4 button and a LCD unit also that's a little bit better price point. And these, like I say, are full-blown remote starters and security systems. So they all have, the shock sensor and the siren and the onboard relays, as I said, and then also the auxiliary channels for the guys that do custom installs. They want to, open up a panel or something like that via the remote. You can do that too with these units. Then our straight up remote starters, obviously straight up remote start, no security at all for these units, 4 SKUs. And again, from quarter mile up to full 1 mile range. No LCD unit in this lineup here, but I'm pretty sure you can add an LCD, remote itself to one of these kits. I think the 4806P, you can add it. So also manual transmission. This is where manual transmission comes in. So you can do manual transmission with these units also. Then straight up security. I honestly believe that security is something that is slowly coming back, and it's mainly due to one thing called relay theft. And all these push to start vehicles that, basically you touch the door handle and you can unlock the vehicle. Those type of vehicles are very vulnerable to relay theft. And when I say relay theft, for those of you that don't understand it, relay theft is when the thief has a device that can sniff your key sitting in your dining room table and then retransmit it to the car, and another gentleman could touch the door handle, unlock the car, and even start the car and drive away. So I really believe that, in the near future, we're going to see an increase on security. So I know security right now is not super huge in this country, but it's something that's definitely on its way, and it's growing. So the analog summary, we have 3 security remote starters, 4 remote starters, and 2 security systems. And like I said, I really believe that 2 security systems will grow in the future. And I hope I'm scaring any consumers that are watching, because this is reality. My neighbor across the street had his Honda stolen right out of his driveway. And he said, I still have my 2 keys. How did that happen? So I explained it to him straight up. It's definitely relay theft, because the car was gone in the middle of the night and the keys were still there in the house. Now I want to touch on telematics. Telematics is something that I must say overseas is huge. Everybody wants to start their car with their smartphone, and this is something that we do very well. And I have some exciting news for anybody in Western Canada that is listening. The DSM 550FR, it doesn't stand for French, it's just a model number. It is a factory or a cell phone cellular-based app that is service included. So when your customer buys this, he never pays an annual or a monthly fee. It's built into the price, one-shot deal, and he has it for life as long as he owns the car. So this is basically the telematics to start your car, and it works with the analog products as well as the DS4 and DS3 products. And it just starts your car with your phone and you're good to go. They're offering actually an upgrade now, and this is something that the consumer can do, because the Smart Start DSM 550FR, this unit will also do GPS tracking. So for the GPS tracking portion, if you want to have that and it's a must for you, then for $100 US, that adds that to your lifetime subscription. And then the exciting news that I mentioned is it's now available across Canada. So you guys in BC and Alberta and all Western Canada, your customers can have this also. Whereas before it was only available in Ontario and Quebec. So that's a fantastic unit. And again, like I say, cellular base, it always works. You can start your car from anywhere in the world, and it just works. And that's what's important. I guess I'm talking too fast. Hopefully, I mean, there's no questions, obviously, but after I'm sure Ben will have some questions. But so to summarize what we talked about today, digital security remote starters with 6 RF kits, digital security upgrade kits, we got 3 of those, 33 T harnesses, 4 analog security remote starters for you old school guys out there, and then the analog remote starters. Couple analog security systems, and like I said, I'm hoping that's going to grow. And then the 1 telematics device, that's basically rounds it all up. Sobel, Python, and directed. Let's have a chat, Ben.
Absolutely. All right. We can go ahead and take down the presentation. Danny, the DS4 system, it's kind of near and dear to me. I happen to be have a vehicle that has that installed that I actually helped install. I'm proud of that. But anyhow, it is a bulletproof device. I mean, it's been proven. I don't know how many revisions of the software. It's from a deal. Let's talk about it from 2 different perspectives. Let's talk about it from a dealer perspective. For those that haven't tried or played with the DS4 system yet, from an inventory, it's fantastic. It's one brain. You log in right to the directed site and basically program it for whatever application that you are installing that day. Now, enhance that with what you were mentioning, Danny, the T harnesses, and you've got a dynamite package, which is bulletproof. And I want to reiterate here, I know I might have repeated this a couple of times, but, remote starter season is coming up. I want to refresh everybody's memory. Guys, if you probe your customer correctly, just like what Danny was talking about, there is no 90% of the customers who are advised and have been properly probed will take that T-harness option, even though it costs more money, 9 times out of 10. Why? Because they know you're not cutting into their wires, you're not splicing anything, there's no soldering, there's no electric tape. It's click, 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 click. Great. That's part one. And I know this, I'm just preaching to the choir, right? But the second part to this is, how many times has the dealership blamed us for something that went wrong?
Well, Ben, that's a really good point you made, because usually if you get a flat tire, it's also the remote starter's fault when you go to the dealer.
It's like the black sheep. It's a good scapegoat. It's the go-to, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my lumbar support doesn't work. Told you not to put in that starter. I mean, that T-harness.
But I'm really glad that you made that point, Ben, because it really is reduces the problems with the vehicles. And you know what? When you're an installer, when a car comes back, you've pretty much lost all your profit that you made on the initial install. So you don't want comebacks, and T-harnesses stop that from happening.
Guys, the guys that directed did the work for you. It's okay. Let it go. Just buy the product and plug it in and get more turnover in your bay and be more efficient and make more, be more profitable. That's what I have to say about the T-harness. Now, from a consumer standpoint, I mean, the usability, the features, the range. Like, I have the half-mile two-way non-LCD remote.
Yeah,
I know that one you just showed. There's only the LCD that has the rechargeable model.
Yeah.
Anyways, the point is, it's got incredible range. It was super easy to install, and it's super easy to use. It's like, gosh, no brainer.
And talking about the remotes, Ben, we have a mixture of some old school OEM looking remotes within the Python brand, and we also have the new modern kind of things that the younger generation likes, something kind of more modern look and modern feel to it. And while I'm speaking of RF kits, something really, really important. Directed is the DS4 and the DS4P and the DS3 and the DS3P, right? You can program any brand of directed RF kits to the DS4 platform. So let's say you have another brand that's DEI, that your customer comes in to see you, and he says, I want an extra remote. If it's another brand under the directed umbrella, you can program the Python remote to their DS4, no matter what it is. Right. So it's a huge convenience. If you look at DS4, we are definitely leading the industry on how many RF kits. There's anywhere from 3 or 5 to 6 or 7 RF kits per brand. So I don't know, there's probably 40 or 50 RF kits across the board that you can program with the DS4. So the selection is really there, convenient to have it all under one umbrella.
Absolutely. It's all under one umbrella. Vox has purchased it, and obviously they're going to be centralizing all these resources. And, for our viewers, we've got a lot. I mean, Vox has a lot of sessions coming up. You're going to learn all about, Danny touched on that new telematics unit. We're going to be talking about that and all the new updates, the ones that Danny might get in trouble for mentioning today. We're going to dive deep with that with the team over at Directed. So definitely stay tuned to CMA Networks as we head towards the remote car starter, security, and telematics sessions. On that note, I want to thank you, Danny, for joining us today. I'm going to bring up the website. If you want more information on Python products, make sure you check out voxelectronics.com. That's where you will find all the information that has anything to do with Directed and all the great brands that Vox has to offer. Thank you so much, Danny.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's go ahead and bring in our two colleagues from SOBEL, both in Mr. Chris Vassiliou as well as Gaetan Rheault. Let's get you guys back in here and wrap this up. What a great presentation today. I mean, at the end of the day, 3 really great brands. Good choice, guys, of the brands. I want to say thank you, of course, to all the presenters that came on today. Gaetan, let's start with you. What was your favorite thing that you learned today in today's session?
We already know those lines been there for a long time. Yeah, I have started with directed electronics like 3 years ago. And I see that presently, I think alarms will be a grow with all the things you hear right now. It's already have start for trailers, for protecting vans. So we see that we have a lot of moving a lot. So and Pioneer, we have the exclusivity for chance to deal with that. So we just have to put them on the market and roll up, baby.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sorry, Chris, you wanted to add to that? I was going to ask you, what was your favorite takeaway?
Actually, the entire show was. I mean, the HIKVisions I'm excited about, and I'm excited about Python. with all the new technology that's coming out, especially the new harnesses.
New harnesses.
And
What do you think about the telematics deal? I didn't know
What's that?
about that. A new telematics piece that Danny was talking about. You install it once and you don't have to have a subscription.
That's been out. That's only offered for Ontario and Quebec, and it's been out for the last 3 years.
Right. And now available
Yes.
in Western, which is pretty
In
interesting.
Western too. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Chris, I'm going to leave you the big axe. You ready? I'm going to give you. I flipped the coin before the show started. I said this question is going to fall on Chris.
All right. What's the question?
After everything that we learned today, all the great guests that we had, the great products that we covered, why should dealers consider doing business with Sobel as a major distributor supplier for their business?
Well, first of all, we have a variety of brands from 12-volt accessories, car audio, marine audio. Now we have a good lineup of dash cams. And with our team at Sobel and our online portal, we make life simple for our dealers. So if you're not a dealer with us, give us a call, email us, contact us, and we'll definitely take care of you guys.
Amazing. Well, since Chris mentioned it, let's go ahead and bring up the numbers. If you want to get a hold and open an account with the good folks at Sobel Distribution, here's the website, SOBELIMPORTS.com. That is their website. If you go there, you'll see all the other brands that they carry, because obviously we only could show a selection of what they have to offer, but a great selection that is. Gaetan, merci. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Was a great show. Thank you, Bobby.
And Chris?
Yes, thank you, Ben. Thank you for having us again.
All right, we'll talk to you on the next one. Take care.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you.
Again, I want to take a second to thank Robert Money from Pioneer and Tracy Roydy from HIKVision, and of course, Danny Prezzo from Vox Electronics and Gemsen for putting together the presentations today. Okay, before I let you go, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about this wicked awesome contest we got going on. You might have heard of it. It's called the Ultimate Fab Experience Giveaway. It's in collaboration with CMA Networks and MasterTech Expo, along with 5-Axis Innovations and SiriusXM. Here's your chance to win an all-inclusive trip to MasterTech Expo 2023 in Mesa, Arizona. All you got to do is go to cmanetworks.com/giveaway and register. There's no cash value. It's free to register. And we're talking flights, hotels, meals, the courses, the whole thing, man. It's amazing. Sign up today. We are drawing the winners on November 23rd on our CMA Roundtable show. While you're there, registering for this contest, make sure you check out all our other great videos on cmanetworks.com. We got new search tools. You can search by brand, search by category, or even search by your favorite trainer, cmanetworks.com. That's it. Thanks for tuning into this CMA showcase presented by SiriusXM. It was a good one. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
Stop it. Yo, roll it down. I am.
You don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on SiriusXM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?